No dzień doberek, cześć i czołem, drogi widzu. NgeloQuerro z tej strony w kolejnym odcinku Hogwarts Legacy. Aktualnie lecimy na spotkanie z Natty i zobaczymy, czegoż ta nasza przyjaciółka chce. A przy okazji delektujemy się piękną zimą. Ale koniec tego zachwytu, czas powrócić do codzienności. Nat, tu jesteś.
Are you ready to put an end to Harlow?
No jaha.
I'm ready to do what's needed to take Harlow down. I know you have a plan.
We must gather information from the friends of Mr. Bickle that Archie and Mrs. Bickle mentioned. Agabus Filbert, Otto Dibble, and Mr. and Mrs. Rabe.
All right.
I suggest that you speak with each of them while I head to the Hogshead. I saw some Ashwinders heading there. And as my mother would never go near the Hogshead, she is less likely to learn of my activities than if I were to wander the village questioning its residents.
What sort of information am I trying to gather from these people?
They may know what evidence Mr. Bickle had against Harlow, or they may have evidence of their own. We simply need to know whatever they know.
Where am I to find these friends of his?
I do not know about Mr. Rabe, but his wife, Daisy, is often in Hogsmeade, as is Agabus Filbert. And Otto Dibble, he works at Gladrags, so you will likely find him there.
Very well. I'll speak with them, see what I can learn.
I knew I could rely on you. We need to know how they are being blackmailed by Rookwood and Harlow. Meet me here after you have spoken with them.
Okej.
Hopefully by the time you return, I will be able to move a bit more freely.
A więc musimy porozmawiać tutaj, jak widać, z 3 osobami. A więc myślę, że bierzemy się do roboty. Najbliższy cel jest 40 metrów przed nami. A w zasadzie to moglibyśmy nawet i tędy wejść sobie.
Mrs. Rabe.
Oh, Isco, what have I done?
Daisy?
Mrs. Rabe, I wondered if I might speak with you about Theophilus Harlow. I'm a friend of the Bickles and I'm trying to gather evidence against him.
Poor Joanna and little Archie. And now Harlow has taken my darling Isco.
What do you mean? Why?
I'm a security guard at Gringotts, and my husband is a curse breaker for them. Harlow approached me about helping him extort my colleagues into giving him treasures from the vaults.
And you declined?
Of course I declined. Repeatedly. I thought they'd given up, until I came home one night and found my husband gone, and a note affixed to my door with a knife. The note stated that I only had a few days to reconsider helping with some banking needs, and that my husband would appreciate it if I acted quickly. But the help Harlow wants is help that I cannot give, and my dearest Isco is paying the price.
Are you sure the note means that your husband was kidnapped?
What else could it possibly mean? Besides, I came home to find that someone had trampled the daisies in our garden. It may sound silly, but those were Isco's pride and joy. He would never have let that happen.
Have you helped Harlow since your husband was taken?
No, I'm worried sick about Isco, but he'd never want me to compromise my integrity. I also know that he's extremely clever. That said, I was hoping he would have escaped by now. It makes me concerned as to why he hasn't.
Why wouldn't Harlow extort your husband?
Isco's job is even more removed from the vaults than mine. He travels the world for the bank. He could do nothing for Harlow. I'm the one in the bank on a daily basis, which evidently makes me an enticing target for blackmail.
Thank you, Mrs. Rabe. Knowing the lengths that Harlow will go to is helpful, albeit more than disturbing.
Mr. Bickle was trying to help us, but now he's gone. I don't know what to do.
I shall do all I can to get evidence against Harlow, Mrs. Rabe.
Very well. Here's the note I received. You must be careful as well. Please don't put yourself in danger.
Okej. Pani Rabe, liczymy na to, że ponownie rozważy Pani naszą prośbę o pomoc w sprawach bankowych. Daliśmy Pani dość czasu na podjęcie własnej decyzji, ale nasze pokłady cierpliwości zaczynają się wyczerpywać. Wiemy, że Pani mąż bardzo by to docenił, gdyby dostrzegła Pani wartość współpracy z nami. Czy możemy spodziewać się odpowiedzi do końca tygodnia? Najlepiej, gdyby sprawa pozostała między nami. Zapewne pani rozumie, co mamy na myśli.
Some evidence worth hanging on to.
Thank you. I hope it's not too late.
Now, to find Mr. Bickle's other two friends.
Szczerze powiedziawszy, to muszę przyznać, że bardzo bezpiecznie jest napisany ten list.
Otto Dibble works at Gladrags. I should check there.
Please tell me you didn't take it, but perhaps it's been here all along.
Mr. Dibble, may I speak with you? It's about Theophilus Harlow.
I've nothing to say about him. May I interest you in a stunning cravat today?
Please, sir, I'd like to help. I spoke to Mrs. Bickle.
You know the Bickles? All right, but we must be discreet. Can't have Mr. Hill hearing this.
I know Mr. Hill. He was kind to me the day of the troll attack.
Oh, he's a good man, but even he wouldn't understand about Harlow. It started a few weeks ago. I was distracted, reading a note, when you-know-who came into the shop. I hid the note behind the counter and offered to help him. He stared at me for a moment, then asked me to check on an order he'd placed. I went into the storeroom to check on what turned out to be a non-existent order. When I returned, he was holding the note.
What was in the note?
It was a note from Rosie Hill, Mr. Hill's daughter. You see, we've been, well, secretly engaged these past 6 months. We haven't told Mr. Hill yet. I dare say he has higher hopes for her. Harlow advised me in no uncertain terms that my relationship with Rosie, not to mention my employment here, depended upon my cooperation.
What did he ask you to do?
It all happened so quickly. In an instant, he took a very expensive scarf from the counter, pocketed it, and smiled. He said, "Your secret is safe as long as I can supply my lady friend with delightful items like this every so often." I've been able to cover for his requests until now with some creative bookkeeping, but I can't keep it out for much longer. I'm terrified to say anything. I could never live without Rosie.
I met Mr. Hill the day of the troll attack. He was kind to me. Why don't you just tell him?
He's a lovely man, but when it comes to Rosie, I fear he loses all perspective. He'd see this as a grave betrayal. I'd lose my job instantly, and Rosie as well.
What have you been doing to keep the extortion a secret?
Well, as I mentioned, creative bookkeeping, and I've also been trying to cover the costs with my own savings, but I'm running out of money. Of course, none of this bodes well for my efforts to improve my circumstances and to be worthy of Rosie.
Could you give me a bit more detail about the note? That might help me to identify it should I come across it.
It's on Rosie's special pink stationery. It has her monogram at the top, RH. That's how Mr. Hill would know it was real.
Thank you for telling me. I'm gathering evidence to take Harlow down.
I would love nothing more than to see him rotting in Azkaban, but be careful. He's an awful man and incredibly dangerous. As for Rosie's letter, should you happen upon it, I have committed it to memory. You may destroy it immediately.
Understood.
Now hurry
Okay.
off before Mr. Hill returns.
We're on the right track. Now to find the last of Mr. Bickle's friends.
Czyli Agabuta Filberta. A, po drugiej stronie chyba, całkowicie.
Agabus Filbert must be around here somewhere.
Jest i on.
Excuse me, Mr. Filbert. I wondered if I might speak with you about your dealings with Theophilus Harlow. I hope to ease Mrs. Bickle's mind by gathering evidence against him.
Tragic, what happened to Bickle. He wanted me to speak out against Harlow for an act of violence committed against me. But I feared Harlow's retaliation, and so I refused.
You may have shared Mr. Bickle's fate if you had spoken out against Harlow as he requested.
Unfortunately, I suspect you're right.
You said that Harlow committed an act of violence against you. Could you tell me what happened?
Before my extraordinary wife, Dulcibella, passed away, she had just completed a small book of poetry. As a surprise for her birthday, one she never had the chance to celebrate, I had the book beautifully bound and plated in gold. One day, Harlow came calling to punish me for having spoken out against the Neanderthals that comprise Rookwood's lot. Before I knew it, I'd been petrified, and Harlow was rifling through my home. He found the book of poetry, with its exquisite gold plating. I watched helplessly, lying there in my entranceway as he walked away with the book, laughing as he went. I was shaken to my core. Still am, to be honest.
I imagine you fear Harlow retaliating again. But do you mind if I share this information with Officer Singer?
I suppose I have no choice. This extortion can't go on forever. You can pass it on to anyone who may be willing to help. Harlow does not like people talking, as you already know.
I've spoken with Mr. Bickle's friends. Now to find Natty.
Nie zdziwiłbym się, gdyby Natty nagle była w tarapatach. Ale miejmy nadzieję, że tego oczywiście nie będzie. I że nasza koleżanka będzie tutaj cała i zdrowa.
It's not like Natty to be late. She said she was going to the Hogshead. Perhaps I'll find her there.
Oho, zaczyna się. No dobra.
Natty must be around here somewhere.
Co tutaj się pojawia? Różdżka Natty.
Natty's wand. She can cast without it. She wanted me to find this. She's in trouble. Revelio will show me where she was taken.
Revelio pokazuje.
Nosy little students get what's coming to them.
Revelio.
Pewnie będziemy musieli tutaj do jakiejś piwnicy zejść.
Natty
Otóż
must have
to.
been taken this way. I need to find...
Kryjówka Popiełków. No proszę, proszę. Dobierzemy się do roboty. Czeka nas troszeczkę walki tutaj.
The footprints led to this room. There must be another way forward.
Okej. Tutaj to na pewno będziemy musieli sobie użyć akieł. No i moglibyśmy sobie tutaj ustawić już na przykład Rusję. Świetnie.
Hidden door. Revelio.
Czy Revelio nam tutaj coś ukaże? Raczej nie.
Natty must have been taken this way. I need to find her quickly.
Spokojnie, Natty sobie poradzi.
I'd better be sure I'm not seen.
Czemu? Nie chcesz się pobawić w otwartą wojnę? No ale dobra, niech tak będzie. Ej, gdzie to jest te zaklęcie kameleona?
Revelio.
Thought it warranted more than a piece of meat pie. I could have been killed running for him. Blasted Rookwood.
It's not gonna work.
It might.
Using that girl as bait, no one's coming for her. We ought to just kill her. Hogwarts student would be arrogant enough to come in here alone.
Okej. Co my tu mamy? Przełam zaklęcie tarczy. Okej. Czyli mamy po problemie. Aha. Jednak zaliczyło, no dobra. Ajajaj, za późno. Oj, ale oberwałem. Okej, tego mamy tutaj przełamać. Nie, tnij pojedynkowiczkę, gdy rzuca reduktor. Okej, coś tutaj w ogóle zrobiłem nie po kolei, jeśli chodzi o te wyzwania. Ale chyba jeszcze kogoś tu mamy, dokładnie. No, ciekawe co tam jest. Dobra, ciekawe dokąd nas to doprowadzi. Chyba, że to jest po prostu takie tajne przejście, żeby załatwić sprawę po cichu. Ale jednak nie. Jednak mamy tutaj jakieś skarby, jak widać. Dobra, jest jeszcze jedno przejście tutaj. Świetnie.
We should speak to her again. Perhaps she'll tell us where we can find that friend of hers.
Dobra, nie gadajcie pierdół. A skubany ten kad jest dosyć silny. Ale mimo tego akurat idzie nam bardzo dobrze. Nie, to tak nie działa. Okej, co Revelio nam tutaj pokazuje? Że mamy coś na dole, ale to są akurat te dwie kraty. Plus mamy coś... O, tutaj? Okej. Jesteś mi drogi tak jak wróżebnik, który swym śpiewem zapowiada deszcz. I ukochany jakoby sidwak, którego serce tak lojalne jest. Rzuciłeś na me serce taki czar, którego przenigdy zdjąć nie chcę. Wzbudziłeś we mnie od początku żar, do ciebie należy moje serce. Dulcibella Filbert.
The book of poems that was taken from Agabus Filbert. He'll be thrilled to have this back.
Oho, szerokie lustro.
Revelio.
Dobra, tutaj też coś mamy. I tutaj również. Czemu te szczury za mną latają? U góry jeszcze mamy skrzyneczki. RH. Mój kochany Ottonie, na okrągło czytam twój list i z pewnością jeszcze nieraz to zrobię. Dopóki się nie spotkamy. Nie dopuszczam nawet myśli, że mogłabym cię wkrótce nie ujrzeć. Wciąż tli się we mnie nadzieja. Nie mogę doczekać dnia, w którym oznajmimy nasze zaręczyny wszystkim bliskim, szczególnie mojemu drogiemu ojcu. Wcale nie przeszkadza mi, że chcesz poczekać, aż nieco okrzepniesz, ukochany. Wiem, że robisz wszystko, co w twojej mocy, aby to urzeczywistnić. Pozwolę sobie tylko wyznać, że ostatnie miesiące, gdy musiałam ukrywać uczucia, które wynosiły mnie na szczyty szczęśliwości, stanowiły dla mnie wielkie wyzwanie egzystencjalne. A teraz jeszcze raz pójdę przeczytać twój list. Twoja oddana Rosie.
Otto Dibble's love letter from Rosie. He wanted me to destroy this if I found it. Revelio.
Revelio już chyba tutaj niczego nie ukazuje, poza tą jedną rzeczą tam u góry. Tylko tam chyba nie wejdę. Chociaż... Nie. Chyba, że jakoś tędy? Nie. Dobra, Lecimy po prostu przed siebie. Musimy w końcu uratować Natty.
Natty must be here somewhere.
You found us. I knew you would realize I had left my wand for you. Speak to Mr. Rabe. He will tell you what you need to do.
Okej.
I need your help.
Dobra, poczekaj. Najpierw sobie tu pozbieram fanty, przyjacielu. O!
Revelio.
Coś tu dziwny dźwięk wydało.
Mr. Rabe, Daisy told me you'd been abducted.
You spoke with my wife. How is she?
Worried about you. Are you all right?
I am all right. Thank you for coming. These locks are cursed, and there's an anti-apparition jinx on the cells. Even Natty's skill with wandless magic cannot free us. I need you to find my wand.
Use mine. We'll find yours together once you're out of there.
I need my wand for this. Using one with which I have no connection may not work as well or as quickly, and we cannot risk detection.
I shall do my best. Any idea where it might be?
It's nearby. I can sense it.
Understood. I'll find it.
Your friend Natty was not able to summon my wand. It must be blocked by something.
Revelio.
W ogóle pogadali se, nie? Gdzie może być ta pańska różdżka? Gdzieś blisko. Dobra, tam nie. Tutaj gdzieś musi być.
My wand is somewhere in this room. I can tell.
A najlepsze w tym wszystkim jest to, że nawet rebel... A, okej.
Mr. Rabe's wand could be in there.
To zmienia postać rzeczy.
Mr. Rabe's wand. He'll be glad to have this back. Mr. Rabe, I found your wand.
Well done. I knew it was nearby. Now, you best stand back. One never knows how a curse will react to being broken.
Zaczekaj, aż pan Rabe zdejmie klątwę. Łatwo poszło. Natty, nie chcesz swojej różdżki?
Thank you, Mr. Isco.
My pleasure. And thank you, my friend. We owe our lives to your bravery. I may be too weak to disapparate with you both, but I can try.
You go ahead. Find Officer Singer. We will get out of here on our own.
Very well. But be careful. Thank you, my young friends.
Be prepared for a fight. These Ashwinders must pay.
No, Natty, ale ty nie chcesz swojej różdżki? Bo w dalszym ciągu ci jej nie oddałem, tak jakby.
Revelio.
No dobra. Ale tu jest... A, tu jest wejście do góry. Dobra, czyli ja po prostu tej skrzynki tutaj nie przeszukałem. Okej, no ale teraz już mamy to za sobą. No myślałem, że jakaś walka tu się jeszcze wywiąże, a tu...
Officer Singer and put an end to Harlow once and for all.
A to po prostu żeśmy sobie od tak wyszli, tak wiecie, troszkę z dupy. No ale dobra, to i w sumie nawet lepiej. Dobra, musimy znaleźć panią Singer. Ona sobie tu już czeka, okej.
Natsai Onai. I should have known. And you, the troll dispatcher. Oh, thank goodness the two of you are safe. Isco Rabe told me a couple of students had rescued him. Should have known it was you two.
Is Mr. Rabe all right?
He is. I sent him home to his wife. Miss Onai, your mother will not be pleased to learn that you're still risking your safety pursuing these dangerous men.
Actually, Officer Singer, Natty and I learned of several Hogsmeade residents who've had their lives threatened by the Ashwinders. In addition to abducting Mr. Rabe to blackmail his wife and Natty, Rookwood and Harlow have also extorted Agabus Filbert and Otto Dibble.
I will look into all of that. As for the two of you, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but you are taking great risk. Next time, please let the authorities handle the Ashwinders.
With all due respect, officer, the authorities haven't done much about any of this.
There's more to taking down an organization like the Ashwinders than simply storming in and hauling them off based on a few accusations. I must insist that you leave them to us. We shall have no further discussion on this.
No i tak się
Natsai, you may wish
kończy
to speak with your mother about this before I do.
My mother will not like
większość.
this. Thank you again for rescuing me. We shall speak soon.
Wracając do tematu, właśnie tak się kończy większość spraw załatwianych przez... Mogę dokończyć? Dziękuję. Tak właśnie kończy się większość spraw załatwianych przez, no niestety, władze. Czyli nie robią nic. A potem zjawiają się na sam koniec i jeszcze nam mówią, że jakie to było nierozsądne z naszej strony, że oni by się tym zajęli dużo lepiej. To ja tu mam przeczytać niby.
We're just leaving for our honeymoon after we tell Mr. Hill of our recent marriage. Wish me luck.
Nie ma za co, panie Otto. Dobra. W tym momencie możemy zakończyć sobie ten odcinek. Tak a propos, to pragnę tutaj też zaznaczyć, że właśnie dzięki tej jednej skrzyni mamy 100% ukończenia Hogsmeade. Zostaje nam tylko jeszcze Hogwarts, tak naprawdę z takich cięższych rzeczy, a potem mapa świata to już nie będzie żadne wyzwanie. Tymczasem dziękuję bardzo za uwagę i do zobaczyska w kolejnym odcinku.